Days where you just woke up and nothing seemed right? Well, I want to share my day with you. So everything's going great, and then my brain shut off. And I want to tell you what happened next. So if you don't know who I am, my name is John Donahue. I might look familiar because you've probably seen me talking about Disney or something to that effect. I've been around for a long time, doing videos and doing all sorts of things with computers and social media. And I've always had an affinity for teaching. It's something that I've always loved to do. But I want to tell you about a day that my entire life changed. And that was Saturday, December 21st. That was a weird day for me. My mom had just come in from Ohio, and we were looking forward to spending a great week with her. And it was Christmas. We had a lot going on. I had the week off, and we were looking for a great holiday experience with my mom. And I had been dealing with some back issues, and I've been taking a lot of back pain medicine from a doctor, and it was causing some ancillary problems, but I didn't realize it was causing a lot of problems. And what was going on was, we didn't know it at the time, but I basically had some damage to my liver. And it was non-alcohol related, but I've damaged my liver along the way. And because of the problem that the meds were causing, I was bleeding internally. So along with that, there was a high amount of ammonia in my system. And when that amount of ammonia gets high enough and it gets into your bloodstream and it seeps into your brain just shuts off. Now, I was still seeing things. Apparently, I was still moving and talking, but I wasn't making any sense. And thank God my wife was noticing, because she took me directly to the emergency room. And then they took me to a hospital downtown where a lot of things happened that I do not remember. I was fighting the doctors and the nurses and doing a lot of crazy things. But in my mind, I was thinking that I was stroking out. I was seeing these weird colors and kaleidoscopes and hearing these weird noises. And I thought, this is it. This is what a coma is like. Or maybe this is what a seizure looks like. Or maybe I'm passing on and this is what eternity really is. And I was having cognitive thoughts, which was really, really weird considering all the chaos that was going on in my field of view around me. But I heard my wife's voice, and I just thought, if I could just stick to that, if I could just hang on to that, I think I can make it through. And we had a lot of things happen. There were some procedures done. There was a lot of medication. There was a lot of funny things that happened that I don't really feel comfortable telling you about. But let's just say 3 days later, I woke up. I was pretty coherent, but I was still answering questions like the President of the United States was Barack Obama. And this was at the end of 2024. And when I actually was able to come home on Christmas, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was some type of a dream. And I don't say that to be glib or to say it in such a way that, well, I thought it was a dream and it was so excellent. No, what I mean is I thought it was a dream. When you're in the hospital for several days and you go through that experience and you're not really sleeping a lot, and those hours turn into long, long hours, I didn't know what was real half the time because I had just come out of this fugue state. So all of that to say, when I got home and I started getting better, we really started looking at my future. And this is where you come in. I knew that I wanted to do something with the rest of my life that was more than just a 9-to-5 job, that it was more than just going and punching a time card and doing my 8 hours and coming home. And I love teaching. And one of the crazy things that I started doing to help my mind get back to normal, which I still have some ancillary problems, but I'm good enough to go back to work. I'm good enough to do the things that I want to do. I still have some holes, but we'll talk about that later. I knew that I wanted to get better quickly, and I thought, what a great time to start really dabbling in Chat GPT. And artificial intelligence. And so I just started playing with it. I played with ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity and Midjourney and all these different places that I had heard about, but I was too afraid to go visit because, I'm in my 50s, and that doesn't seem like the kind of thing that I would really, be able to do. Now, I played with computers ever since I was in my teens, and I know that at work they keep talking about AI and how important it is, and the next level of employee is going to have to be fluent in AI platforms. And I thought, well, maybe that's something that I can do. I can get better at AI. I can get better at ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity and utilizing those resources and doing the best that I can do with what I've been given, and then turn that into something that I can turn around and show other people. I never meant to be an expert because I'm not. I don't know all the things. I work a real job, and I'm not going to spend all my nights just boning up on all the different AI platforms. That's what the kids are doing. They know all the ins and outs of all the ins and outs. That's just not what I have availability for. But I do know what I know, and I love to teach. I always have, and I thought this would be an opportunity that I can help other people who are exactly like me, who might be afraid of getting into ChatGPT, who might be afraid of dipping their toe into the AI pool, to do just that. Because once you start understanding that these tools are really not that complicated, you can go farther, faster. All you need is someone to help guide you, someone to help you take one step and then take another step. And that's what I want to do. That's what I've been doing. For the last 6 months, I've been talking to a lot of people in my friend circle, and we've been talking about ChatGPT. And I've got a buddy that's 10, I think he's 10, 12 years older than I am. And he's dabbling in it a little bit, but it's still a little overwhelming for him. So I just show him how to simplify what he's doing. And he is fascinated by it. It's an incredible world when you can tap into artificial intelligence, understanding that it's not going to necessarily take over the world, but it's always going to be something that we're going to have to deal with from here on in. So let me do that. What I've created is an online community. It's a school site. You might have heard of it, not SCHOOL, but SKOOL. It's called AI Over 40. It's a community for people just like us, over 40. Some are working real jobs, some are retired, some people are looking at starting side hustles or starting their next great business in life. And I want to help you get better at ChatGPT and AI and all of those things. So if you will let me, please find me at aiover40.net. I'd love to see you there. We're going to have a lot more conversations in the future, and I'm going to be bringing you tips, tricks, and ways to utilize these resources that are not only going to benefit you, but they're going to benefit your business, your side hustle, and whatever else you choose to do with it. So guys, thank you for listening to a little part of my story. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments. I appreciate everything, the support and love of all my friends and family. I especially appreciate my wife, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So you guys have a great day. Appreciate the lives you have. Live it to the fullest, and let's start making some real change, and let's start doing some incredible things together.